Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vira and here we're talking all about knitting, and this is a new episode of my knitting podcast. Today I have a lot to talk about. I have a pile of things, knits, works in progress behind me. There is a couple more things in front of me. So a lot to cover. But before we move on to the discussion, I want to briefly mention what I'm wearing today. This is my latest garment that I finished. It's a sweater number 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I made it recently. I really like it. I wear it a lot. And right now, when the winter is slowly going away from us, my porcelain sweater is going away with winter as well. Because for me, my porcelain sweater was like very winter wonderland sweater, very wintry colors, white and blue, and those color work motifs for me resembled a lot of like snowflakes. And this sweater serves me as a replacement for the porcelain sweater because the fit is kind of the same. I think porcelain sweater is a bit more oversized than this one. But this one is also pretty oversized and it's like a straight boxy fit. It drapes very nice on my body, same as porcelain. So for me they are very different, but in some ways they are kind of similar in what I want to wear on a daily basis. So yeah, and I knitted it in the Sandnes Garn Sunday color red, held together with thin silk mohair from Sandnes Garn, also in the color dark red. I think the name of the color dark red for both. It's all over cable. I think you all know this sweater. It's really popular, designed by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And if you've seen my podcast episodes, you've heard me talking about it, so I'm not going to go into detail about this sweater. Okay, now we can move on to my works in progress. Today I don't have any finished objects because right now everything is in motion, everything is on my needles. And now we can move on to my first work in progress. And this is my biggest work in progress so far. And this is my Guernsey or Guernsey sweater. Well, it's not mine, I'm making it for my husband, so it's his sweater by Sandnes Garn design. I'm using the Sandnes Garn tweed recycled yarn for it. That was what pattern called for in the color brown. So I think last time I showed you this sweater I was on the back panel and I did not start at the front panel. And right now I already have the back panel, the front panel. I connected to the body and knitting in the round now, and I also added a collar. And as you can see, it's 2x2 ribbed collar, really like how it looks. Fits my husband really well, it fits me also really well. Yeah, I think the progress is really good so far. There was an interesting construction for the neckline when I started knitting the front, left front and right front parts of the sweater. Because I think it involved all kinds of shapings you can possibly imagine. At first I was knitting with the German short rows. And then I needed to decrease and increase. I don't remember like why or how. Yeah, so increase and decrease. And then I needed to cast on additional stitches using backwards loop method. So it was just really intense shaping, and I couldn't stop. When I started working on for example, one of the sides, I needed to finish it all in one go because it was just too much to track. I just couldn't pause it and pick up the next day because I just wouldn't remember where I've been when I left it. So yeah, I finished this first section like in 2 days, and it also was all done in this, of course, seed stitch pattern together with all of those German short row twists, increases, decreases, and cast on stitches. So that was fun, I would say. Yeah, I'm not against it. It's really a good looking round shaping for the neck, so that's all for good. And then, yeah, I think you've seen, yeah, last time I showed you a couple of cables on the back. Now I have all of them done. As you can see, they are crisscrossing. A lot of you left a comment that you think this kind of crisscross looks better than just one column just going across all of the other columns without interlacing. Yeah, and I also like it more. I think it's, I don't know, I think it looks more how it's supposed to be, because it's cables and they are all interlacing with each other. Then I had a section of 2 knit 2 purl stitches repeated all over, and then now I started to work on my fourth, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 section, where you can't really see right now because I just started it today. There are couple of cables, and in between those cables you have the purl rows. I think the most boring part for me of this sweater is this purl knit purl ridges or borders between different sections, mostly because I find stockinette or stockinette just boring. And I want to power through it as soon as possible, as fast as possible. And when I'm done with these borders, then it becomes more fun for me. So right now I'm having fun with these cables. So yeah, this is how it looks. One last look. Ah, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I am knitting the size M, medium. Yeah, in case you're wondering, in case you also want to knit it. And I think it actually works for me also. I think I will also maybe wear it a couple of times just to see how I like the yarn, because the yarn is pretty soft. Yeah, the name of the yarn I already told you, Tweed Recycled, and it contains, I think, 25% or around that cashmere, so it's pretty soft. Okay, so that's it for this project. Hopefully next time you will see the whole body done and then only the sleeves left, but we'll see about that, because I have some other things now in progress. Let's talk about the next one, but first I need to find my next work in progress. Yeah, it's in this bag. I usually use like a duster bags instead of my project bags. I don't really have like a real project bag, and yeah, I use whatever I have. So my next project, you've seen just the beginnings of it last time. It is my honey clutch by Petite Knit, and look at this, I'm almost done. I think right now I am at the point where I need to start working on this like a top section where the zipper will go into. So last time you've seen maybe like this much of the bottom of the clutch, and now I have the brioche done. Let's talk about brioche. So when I started knitting this clutch, I did not know that this is actually brioche. The honeycomb pattern is brioche. For me it was just, oh, nice pattern, why not try to knit it. And when I started knitting it, that was intense. So I read a pattern, I did not understand anything at all what it asked me to do when I started like on the brioche section. It was just knits, purls, knit yarn overs, slip yarns, slip stitches. It was so many things that and what was just confused me so much. So gladly. Luckily, there are a lot of YouTube videos on, I think her name is Kimi Munkholm, YouTube channel. It's the person who is doing all of the Petite Knit tutorials. So I watched a tutorial of this beginnings of the honeycomb pattern million times. I put it on the, what is it, 0.25 x speed on YouTube, the lowest, the slowest speed on YouTube that you can possibly watch, and I played it like maybe 20 times and tried to follow what she's doing. Well, in the end I managed, so as you can see, and it took me only like a couple of rows of this honeycomb brioche pattern to figure out what I need to do. After that, it was really easy. The pattern, the stitch pattern is very easy to memorize. The interesting part for me was I did not know how brioche is constructed. I don't even know if it's like all brioche patterns work in the same way, but this one you are knitting not in the round, you're knitting one round and then you're reversing and knitting back. So basically you're knitting flat, but then you're creating this one edge where you connect the fronts and backs so they are in the round. It's, for me, it's mind-blowing. And my only question when I was knitting this pattern was like how someone some time ago came up with this pattern. Like, how can you just knit? We know all of our knits, purls, yarn overs, yeah, but then you need to come up with that, you need to like turn it and then do some specific knitting stitches, then turn back, do another yarn overs, slip stitches, and it creates this beautiful pattern. I don't know, I still don't get it. How someone come up with this pattern. For me, it's like some kind of science not available for my apprehension. So yeah, that's the only thing I could say. But then after I figured out and memorized the correct pattern, it was very easy. So I sped through the whole thing. Like, it was very fast, it was very engaging. I couldn't just stop like turning it back and forth just to see how much it's growing, how nice it's becoming. It's really nice to touch. I really liked it. Really liked just holding it, and I don't know, very nice tactile feeling. I know some people don't like the it has like some kind of people have some kind of phobia of like holes in the surfaces. For me, it's the opposite. I'm like, oh yeah, it's so nice, I want to touch it all the time. And then I was so like sure of myself that, oh, brioche, people say it's so hard. No, it's not. It's so easy. I'm doing it always like with my eyes closed until I made a mistake. Yeah. And then I understood what's the problem with brioche. But before we move on to my mistake, I just want to ask a question. If someone of you made knitted this honeycomb clutch, honey clutch, or honey wash bag, or any of like the similar patterns, there is this edge where, like I said, the turn edge, and it doesn't look like seamless. It has this like almost like a seam on one of the edges, and I just want to ask a question: is it normal, or am I doing something wrong? I'm not mad about it. I think it's all right, even if I'm doing something wrong. So it doesn't look like awful. It has just like a seam on it. But I just want to know, like, for future, am I doing something wrong, or is it how it's supposed to be? Because I did not see any like photos of this clutch where this seam is visible, maybe because people just hide this seam, and of course when you want to take a photo you want to take the nicest like angle side of the garment, of the project that you're working on. And I will also take photos of like this side because it looks clean, nice, but yeah, I just want to know if it's the how it's supposed to be. Yeah, now let's talk about my mistake. So, like I said, I was just knitting, it was so fun, and one day I came back from work and I was like, oh, let me just grab my clutch and finish it. It was only a couple of centimeters left in the honeycomb pattern, so I thought I will just quickly finish it and then start working on the top section. And I think I was very ambitious, and I was thinking that I figured this out, so I will know how to fix a problem, until I didn't. So here is, where is it? Yeah, here, as you can see, somewhere here there is something wrong. Is it here? Yeah, right here. So there is no like this 2 stitches that are yarn overs right here. They are missing because I think I don't know what happened. Maybe I just forgot to do a yarn over, or maybe I did something wrong. I don't know what. And then on the way back, I think I noticed that 1 stitch is missing, and then I spent maybe like an hour trying to rearrange the stitches. So I took from my needles like those 3 or 4 stitches that are like closest to the problem, and I tried to do yarn overs, to slip stitch, to knit, and I think I spent an hour trying to figure out and fix the problem, and I couldn't. So I decided, okay, I will just keep it as it is. It's not like really visible, only if you're just looking very closely. Even right now, it's very hard for me in the viewfinder to find where exactly the problem is. But what I will do, when I am done, I think I am already done with the height of the bag, I will just grab like a small piece of yarn, and I will just almost like duplicate stitch those 2 this thing like here, and then attach it at the like a back. So, and also there will be like a lining here, sewn in lining, so it won't be really visible that I have some kind of like yarns sticking from this side. So that's fine. Yeah, but that was very humbling experience, because I was so I think that was my ego, that I was like, oh, I know brioche, it's so easy, it's not a problem, what are you all talking about, people? But no, brioche is actually really hard, and yeah, especially when you run into a problem. So I can't even like say that I know how to do brioche, because right now I was just like blindly following the instructions, and without those like videos I wouldn't even know how to start the brioche. And now I need to watch another video, because now I have no idea what pattern tells me how to start working on the top section, because it's a lot of words that just doesn't make sense for me. So now I have this project like on a small pause, because for this I need like a mental capacity to just sit, open my YouTube, watch this video like over and over and over again, just trying to understand what I need to do. And for that I need maybe a couple of hours without any interruptions. But I think I will, for the next time, I will finish it for sure. I'm not sure about the lining. That's another tricky part for me, another part that I've never done before, and also the installation of a zipper. That also will be interesting, let's say it this way. Okay, yeah, but now you heard the whole story with the brioche pattern. But now I think I am done talking about this small little bag. It looks so cute, but brioche is killing me. Brioche, like I wrote in my YouTube stories, brioche is the final boss of knitting, and I'm thinking this way. I think it's the actual final boss of knitting, and especially if you mastered it, you beat the boss, then you are the pro knitter. I'm clearly not. I forgot to mention the yarns I'm using. So I have two yarns. One is Drops Saffron in a color, I think light beige or something like beige. And another one, it's the Drops Kids Silk in the color white or maybe off-white. I think it's 0101. Yeah. Okay, now we can move on. Those are my two works in progress right now, like official works in progress. The rest, there is two more bags. These are all my experiments. Last week we had a really bad weather on the weekend, during the week, so I was just sitting at home and I was bored. I was knitting with a sweater on the clutch, and sometimes it was just too much of like a repetition of the same thing, so I was craving something new and experimental, and one thing that I wanted to do for a long time is to get rid of all of my scrap yarns, because I have a lot of scrap yarns. I'm knitting only for like a year plus couple of months, and I already accumulated so much scrap yarns. And I don't like it. I don't like to have all of those like balls, half balls, odd balls just laying around and basically without any purpose, because I don't like to have a very big stash, because everything in my stash needs to have a purpose, and of course the scrap yarns don't have any purpose. So I'm trying to find the patterns for the scrap yarns, and for a long time I was looking at Wool&Beyond patterns. She has a couple of patterns for the scrap yarns, and one of them is the Beyond bag, and I started the Beyond bag. So here is my little, it's actually not a swatch, it's the bottom part of the bag. And I used a lot of the yarns here, all of the yarns are in this bag. So I have Drops and this from my Drift Jacket by Rose Knitwear. I have my Let Loopy yarn, and then I have like so many more. Like this one, I bought it a long time ago. I don't even remember what is that. I think it's a Viking of Norway brand, and no, I don't remember. It's like this chunky mohair from Vikings of Norway in a really nice color, and I want to knit myself a sweater, and I have a lot of this yarn because I was knitting a sweater, but yeah, that was a fail. And then I have the leftovers from my storm sweater. It's a Pear Gynt in an ash melange color, and another like a chunky mohair from, I don't remember even which brand, and a couple more, like a really small amounts of yarns. So I thought, okay, I think it will work. I think they will work together. So here is what I have, like a combination of brown, gray and blue, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I don't know if maybe I need to trust the process and just continue with the bag and then decide if I like it or no. But what do you think? Do you like the color combination? And this is going to be like a bottom and then like a panel on top and then handle like a strap. It's a crossbody bag. I will add an image, you will see how it looks. So right now it's just, yeah, I'm just thinking about it. I have more like exciting knits. That was just out of boredom, where I try to create something, start something new, and I don't know if I'm liking it so much. Yeah, one last look. So that was my first experiment. My second experiment was another pattern by Wool&Beyond, and it is a lonely leftover vest. I'm trying to find where I found it. So, lonely leftover vest, like the name suggests, it's also like a scrap yarn project, but for this time I decided I don't want to do a scrap yarn project. I have 2 balls of Peruvian Highland wool by Pelican, in this color, like I think it's granite. I don't know how to pronounce it. Granite gray, like a dark gray, dark, almost black gray, and this is where I am. So as you can see, I did not progress a lot. Just a couple of rows of garter stitch. The reason is the same as the borders on my Guernsey sweater, because I feel bored when I'm knitting like a garter stitch or just stockinette stitch. Even though I really like the look of the vest and I want to have it, that's how I progressed, how much I progressed. And right now I also have like doubts, because the sample garment of a vest knitted in a light yarn with a nice blue trimming on the sides. And I'm knitting it in dark, and with the plan of knitting the borders with the brown. And I think it's the wrong time. I think if I would start knitting it in autumn or winter, that would be perfect. But right now we're going into spring, we're heading towards like a warmer months, and I don't know if I want to have like this dark, gloomy vest. So maybe I will just keep it until autumn and then pick it up again and then finish it during like those darker months, because right now I want something lighter, fun colors. Yeah, okay, that was my second experiment, and there is a third one, and it's also not a lot to show. This is ridiculous. It's getting smaller and smaller. This is I think Rita skirt. I need to double check. So this is the Rita skirt solo by Lena Holmen Samso, or LeKnit on Instagram. I really like the look of this skirt. It's so preppy, and I wanted to have this type of skirt for a long time. I can't find it in like stores. It either don't fit me, or I don't like I don't know. I just don't like how they look, or maybe the material are not great. So I just couldn't find the perfect skirt for me. And this one, this pattern is actually what I was looking for a long time. I really want to knit it. But again, and right now I'm not planning to knit it with this yarn. This is a thin Pelican in the color, I don't know, white or off-white. I want to knit it in a gray color, the same color sample knit. I'm using this yarn only because I want to swatch it, because it's the same yarn what patterns call for, thin Pelican, just in different color, not the one that I want, but I can make a swatch in any color, right? And it's tiny. It's on 3mm needles, and it's a skirt, so it will take so much time to knit, and it's all in the stockinette. the stockinette is killing me, but I want this skirt so bad. But I don't know. I need to knit it together with some kind of intense color work or cable, which I will have soon. So I'm thinking I will just I will just have two projects on my needles. One which is like very like boring, and the other one to keep me happy. Usually people do the opposite. Usually they like knit very intense cables, and then just to relax they need something simple. I need to I am weird this way. I need something really like engaging to keep me entertained when I'm knitting this boring like stockinette. But the skirt is so pretty. Okay, yeah, I don't know what to tell you more. There is not really much to tell, so we'll see if I will actually decide to pull the trigger, buy the yarn and knit this kilometer of stockinette or no. But I really want this skirt. That was all of my like experiments. And then there are acquisitions now that I want to show you. And then there is one more swatch for my project that I will need soon, start cast on soon. Let's start with the acquisition. This is my wool winder from Knit Pro, and I did not have it before, obviously, because I just bought it, because I didn't need it really. I don't use hand-dyed yarns too often, like sometimes like for a sock, but it's easy, well not easy, but it's not like very hard once couple of times in a year to just wind it by hand with my husband's help. But right now my next project requires a lot of winding because the skeins are not they are skeins, not balls. So I thought I'm not going to wind the whole sweater amount by hand, so I needed something to help me, and I bought it, and it works very well. I already did it. I don't know if I need to show you. I don't want to unpack it because it's a struggle to put this whole thing back into the small box. I still don't have the, how do you call it, Swift, yarn Swift. It's like the umbrella looking device to hold the yarn. So yesterday evening we just sat together with my husband, and I was holding the yarn and he was just winding, and it works pretty well. So of course it's not as efficient and simple as like with the Swift, and and it requires two people. But it's alright. It's already like 50% easier than before. And I'm thinking, I asked him to build me like a Swift because they are so expensive. I don't know why. Well, I understand it's wood probably, but they are almost like 100 euros per this device. And plus this one was also, it's not expensive, but it's also not like cheap. So it was just too much, and I rather spend this amount of money on another sweater quantity than on this umbrella. So right now I don't want to buy it. Maybe someday when I will knit from a lot of these like skeins of yarns, then I will need it. Right now I don't. So that was my first acquisition to help me with the next project. Here is the yarn for my next project. I have 3 colors. Look at this. This is so nice. They're pretty. And these are the yarns from Hillesvåg Ullverksfabrik Hillesvåg Ullverksfabrik Sol. It's a Nordic Norwegian wool in colors medium brown, brown and beige. And these colors I'm going to use for my Pelican sweater. If you've seen my review, if you've seen my knitting plans for 2024, you probably know what I'm talking about. And the yarn is really nice. I can compare it to maybe Burgund. It's not as thin as their thin Burgund, but also not as thick as the Burgund. But the tactile feeling is almost the same. It's not rustic, but it's not soft. It's like this middle. It's really interesting. It's a bit prickly when I'm touching it on my neck, but I know I had the same feeling with the same thing with the Burgund, where it felt like it has this prickle factor. But when I'm wearing the sweater made out of Burgund, I'm not feeling it at all. It feels really nice on the body actually, and I think this is going to be the same situation. I wasn't really familiar with this yarn before, but I touched it before in my trip to Norway last summer. I was really beginner knitter, so I didn't know anything about yarns, and we went into a store in Norway, some yarn store, and it was a lot of these yarns, and I touched them, but it was so overwhelming to just know what the yarns are for, understand which yarns are better for my future projects. I'm still feeling the same way in any of the yarn stores, so nothing really changed since then. But yeah, I touched it. It was kind of interesting to find out about Norwegian yarns, and yeah, now I have it. And the project, I already told you about the project, so it's a Pelican sweater from this book, A Knitting Life Out into the World by Marianne Isager, and I'm knitting this sweater, Pelican, and here is the little swatch that I have. Look at this, it's so pretty. So I decided not to go for any of the color combinations that are in this book, because I've seen one Instagram, I've seen a photo on Instagram and then also on Pinterest by one of the fashion bloggers, and she was wearing a sweater by Celine. It's a very expensive fashion designer, design house, in these colors, and I really liked how it looks. So I was looking for a long time for the same colors in the yarns that will suit the gauge, the weight of the yarn, this sweater. And at first, of course, I went to the Isager website, tried to find the yarns that were suggested in the pattern, but the color choices are so poor for those yarns, so I just couldn't find any that color combinations that I liked. And then I was looking at Sandnes Garn, because this is my go-to yarn brand, if you would say so, to knit on, and I couldn't really find those colors, the colors that I wanted, envisioned for this sweater also. So then I just tried to look around, and I found this yarn brand, and I remember that it was actually pretty nice, and it suits for color work, and I started looking and I found these colors, and they are exactly matching almost exactly to the Celine sweater. Really like how they look. Okay, and I knitted this swatch yesterday, in an hour, yesterday evening. It was so fun, it was so nice, just for a change to from those brioche and textures to knit color work. I really enjoyed it. Here are my floats. So I knitted it like really fast, but, and there is a but, about the pattern. Oh, the pattern is weird. So, here is the swatch. What I like about the book, that the swatch is almost like one-to-one. So you can actually measure your swatch against the swatch in the book and see if it like works. Mine just tiny bit bigger, but it's alright. But yeah, it's not what I wanted to say. There is either a major mistake or I'm just stupid. I don't know. I spent yesterday like maybe 30 minutes trying to understand what I'm reading. So after I made the swatch, I decided to go through the pattern and read what I'm going to like knit when I will start knitting. And on the first page, usually where the pattern gives you like the sizes for different, or not sizes, the measurements for different sizes, the suggested yarn, needle size and so on, it says, I will read because I don't think it's a secret, you can find the same information on Ravelry. Where is it? Here. So for the size that, first of all, there are 5 sizes. For the size that I want, let's say I want to knit the first size. I want to knit a bigger size, but let's say the first size. Chest circumference, that's normal, that's our usual measurement. Armhole depth, so from the shoulder to the armpit, this is the armhole depth, right? I guess so, 24 centimeters, all right. And then another measurement, length measured above bottom band to armhole. And here I assume, English is not my first language, not even my second. I assume that they are talking about, so this measurement. So above the bottom band to the armhole. So it's like the body under your arm, like this part. Just tell me that I'm right, right? And it's supposed to be, so for the first size, 24 centimeters. And then when the pattern actually starts, it says cast on X amount of stitches, blah blah blah, and then it goes in depth of the like size of the actual like pelican pattern, the snake. This is like zigzag, they call snake pattern. Like how many centimeters are here, how many stitches, how many centimeters here, how many stitches. And it's like a basically like a Lego construction thing that you need to construct your sweater. So if you want like 3 pelican patterns, you measure not only stitches but also centimeters and so on. And they give 5 sizes. As yeah, sweater is in the has 5 sizes. But the size of this above bottom band to the armhole is not matching to the front page. So on the front page it says the first size is 24 centimeters or 9.5 inches. The second size 27 centimeters or 10.5 inches. The third size 36 centimeters or 14 inches. And the last, is it the last? Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm still confused. So for some reason, in the actual pattern, they're giving absolutely different numbers. They start from 36 centimeters and they go to 63 centimeters for like only this part. My whole sweater measures 63 centimeters. I understand there are like big sizes, but why, where are the first, second and third? Yeah, okay, I don't know how to explain it. There is this weird thing in the pattern. Gladly I figured out what I want to do. For that, I'm so glad that I knitted my storm sweater, because the storm sweater is the fit that I want the Pelican sweater to be in. So yesterday I was just at night, I laid this sweater flat on my floor and I was just applying this swatch and calculating how many Pelicans I wanted, like my underarm, yeah, this to be, and there is like two, and then the width, because the pattern is crazy. I don't know what, maybe, yeah, maybe I don't understand something. Maybe they, I don't know. Okay, we can wrap it up. Either way, I will knit this sweater and then we'll see if I fail or if I will just succeed. And if I will succeed, I will leave all of my details, of course, in the videos, also in my Ravelry, in case someone will want to knit it someday, because there are no projects on Ravelry. I did not see any project on Instagram knitting this sweater, so I am the first, I feel I am the first one who is knitting this sweater. Okay, and that's interesting, and I still stand by my final thoughts that I mentioned in the book review, that this is for experienced knitters who really want to experience different constructions, figure out some stuff for themselves. I don't consider myself an experienced knitter, but I guess after I will finish this sweater, I will be. Yeah, I will officially call myself experienced knitter, because I have only this swatch and I have my storm sweater that I will base this on, because the pattern is just not giving me anything. And there are weird sentences. Like, help me here. Like I said, English is not my first language. I assume they also have this problem. So the armhole depth measures 24 centimeters. 2 Pelican patterns and 2 snake patterns. So basically this one double minus the what is this name? Minus this, I forgot. And then there is another sentence which doesn't make sense. For this there are X amount of centimeters in pattern beneath armhole, and this X does not match with any of the things that they mentioned above. Not 36 centimeters, not 24, it says 12. Okay, that's it. That's everything for this video. I don't have anything else to show. The struggle with the Pelican sweater is just starting. That will be interesting for me to figure this out, hopefully for you to follow me and yeah, witness my struggles, support me, hopefully with your like and subscription to my channel. And thank you very much for everyone who stayed till the end and heard me just being confused for like 10 minutes straight. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.